And on the USDJPY, it has been a very choppy situation here since the beginning of this week. As you can see, price has been trading between the 135.100 level since the beginning of the week. That is the highest point price has ever been this week, and then the lowest point price has ever been this week is around the 132.500. Well, the beginning of the week started with the consolidation phase here. We saw the breakdown retest of the 135.600, which gave us about 100 pips thereabout before this bullish momentum began. Then the day after Monday, I think Tuesday, we started seeing buy position. We were part of this one, and we agreed that we are going to be using this bullish trend line as our yardstick for trading activity. So as long as price remains above that bullish trend line, we remain comfortable in our buy position. But if price action breaks down the bullish trend line, we were looking out for selling opportunities. And on Wednesday morning, we saw the breakdown of the structure. We talked about this briefly during the live session on Wednesday, and we said we are going to be adding more position if price action breaks down the what level is that, 135.600, and price action did break down. And since that Wednesday's trading session, we have seen a situation here where price action is in another phase where there is a consolidation phase going on at this particular point in time. And you all know that we have a macroeconomic event coming up later today, and this is more or less it's been reflected on the chart as participants are stepping aside to see what is really going to happen before making a decision on this current structure. And you all know what we look out for whenever we have this kind of setup. We want to be waiting and look out for either a breakout or breakdown of the channel for trading opportunity. But with the way things are right now, I am of the opinion that we might likely be seeing a bullish momentum during the New York session today. And why have I said so? Well, if you look at what has been happening in the market since the beginning of this week, you will see how important the 132.500 level has been for the buyers in this market. Look at the first time price came into the structure. Despite the fact that we had the breakdown of the structure with a strong bearish momentum, we saw that buyers negated all sellers' attempts at this point. Then the same thing happened on Wednesday here. We saw multiple buy pressure negating all attempt by the sellers to break down of that level. Now, during the course of yesterday's New York session, we saw a sharp breakdown, but immediately we saw price climb up again to the upside to further emphasize the strength of the buyers. And right now, in the last 10 hours, we can see that price is yet to break the previous low. And for me, at this point, this is a sign that we might be having a bullish momentum. So in that regard, we are having our position here right above the 135.600 level with the hopes that price action will be breaking out of that structure. And if we take a closer look at what is really happening around here, you will see that it appears price action is gradually transitioning into a possible reversal pattern in the form of an inverse head and shoulder pattern, where we have the left shoulder here, we have the head here, and then we have the right shoulder gradually unfolding, and the 135.600 level serving as the neckline of that reversal pattern. So we want to see price action break out of the 135.600 area to make this reversal pattern a mature and valid structure to be able to buy the USDJPY. So we are having a position right above the 135.600 with the hopes that price action will break out of that level. Now, talking about the buy position we are looking at on the USDJPY, I would like to state here that this is more or less a counter trend opportunity. So if we do have a breakout of the 135.600 level, we want to be very conscious while managing this trade. So as long as price continue to move in our direction, breaking out of the 135.600, continue to climb to the upside, we want to ensure that we protect our position by moving our stop loss accordingly to secure that position. And why have I said so? Well, we will be able to see this very clearly on a much more higher time frame like the 4 hours time frame. So let me quickly run through the 4 hours time frame here so that you can see what I'm talking about at this point. Now look at the 4 hours time frame here. you will see that we had this a significant structure at the 135.800 level, which was a structure that was broken during the trading session last week. It was initially a strong demand zone before we saw the final breakdown of that structure here on Friday. And you all know what we look out for from a technical standpoint. Whenever we cite a breakdown of a structure, we expect that price action is likely going to come back and do a retest of that structure, probably in anticipation of another wave of bearish momentum to the downside. And because of the situation here, I told us in the 1 hour time frame that if price action breakout, we want to be very, very careful. As price action continues to the upside, we have structures that we can use to guide how we move our stop loss. As soon as price move into the 135.250, move your stop loss accordingly. 134.700, move your stop loss as well. And as soon as price gets into the 135.800 area, a structure which was a strong demand zone and was finally broken on Friday last week, I want us to secure the position on all the buy position that we have on this trade and wait out to see how price action will be reacting to the structure to decide if we are going to be adding more buy position to our existing trade, or we might be getting ready to sell at this point. So if we cite selling pressure below the structure, that is, price was unable to break out of that level, sellers negating all attempt by the buyer to break out of that structure, it might be a beautiful signal for a nosedive in this market. However, if price action breaks out of that 135.800 area, well, this might be another beautiful opportunity to join a trend continuation to the upside. So these are the things we shall be looking forward to. So if a breakout of the 135.600 level happens, please note that this is a counter trend opportunity, and if you are not feeling comfortable with a counter opportunity, please, you can stay out of this trade. Then another thing about this structure on the 4 hours time frame is this bearish trend line here, which started last week Friday. That's the bearish momentum that led to the breakdown of the 135.800 level. You can see the trend line falls around the 135.250 and the 134.700, where I told us that we want to be moving our stop loss accordingly to secure position as soon as price gets into the structure. So we might likely see selling pressure resume around that area one more time to incite another wave to the downside. So because of these expectations, let's ensure that we move our stop loss accordingly when price action moves in our favor. So that is that on the USDJPY, and it's on this note I will be calling it a day on the XTrend Speed Live.